Hi, class. This is Frank Hodges. I'm your professor of English for this semester. I wanted to just give a very brief overview of how the class is going to run, how you're going to access things in Canvas, and then go over your first assignment. As you know, this is an asynchronous class. What that means is there's no live sessions, but I'm looking at the idea of maybe having some WebEx meetings that if you can't attend, it's okay. We'll broadcast them, but maybe work out a way, maybe in smaller groups, we can meet with WebEx. If you're not familiar with Canvas, or you are, the important thing is to look at announcements. That's where stuff like this is going to be. Things I'm asked to share with you, changes I make in the class, or really anything I feel I need to post will be in announcements. The next thing is discussions. The reason is that discussions replaces participation or attendance, which is 10% of your grade. So you have 3 discussion posts this week. One is simply chime in. It has no points, but tell me a little bit about yourself, kind of like an introduction, which will benefit each other. Your name, something about you, maybe you're on the softball team, anything you feel you want to share. The next 2 discussions each are worth 10 points. Let me know that you're okay is one. And what I mean by that is if there's going to be any issues with internet connectivity or accessing the internet, or trepidations you have about an online class. I know several people have already posted, and I've assured them this is going to be a class where you'll get good, timely feedback and lots of help, so you won't feel like you're taking a class with you're not sure what you're supposed to do, or you don't get any type of feedback. The next post is 10 points also, and it's related to your first assignment. So I'll go into that now. I organized the class into modules. Modules are simply a way of organizing things, that's all. So each week there's a module, or for your major assignments, which are 3 major academic essays, you'll have 3 to 4 weeks for those modules. Your first one is called Media and Culture. It's worth 25 points. And there's a PowerPoint attached that has the directions. I want you to write a 1-page essay, about 250 words. It doesn't have to have any particular format, but please double space your essays and submit it into Canvas at the end of the week. It's due Sunday the 30th. And what I want you to do is look at how the presentation or the awareness of information, we can call it media, is affecting and shaping the way that you get information. Let me explain the background. Marshall McLuhan, who I talk about a little bit in the PowerPoint, was an English professor in the 1960s. He predicted the internet. He came up with an idea called the global village, in which everyone would have access to constant information at all times. He also came up with the saying, the medium is the message. He wrote several books that were really geared at the way that advertising, the new world of television, was influencing people by what he called the medium, the way that the information is presented. He wrote The Mechanical Bride, The Medium is the Message, and several other books that were fairly popular in the 60s, but his ideas kind of fell out of fashion. We see today that almost anything that we're given through a medium, the medium is just as important as the message. He came up with a saying that the medium massages you. The medium actually forces you to think a certain kind of way. Now, the reason I'm giving you assignments like this is I'm not trying to teach you information or support what you already know. The purpose of this class is to give you critical thinking skills, to take information, read it, watch it, think about it, synthesize it, and then write your own critical response to it. These are the skills that you need: reading, thinking, analyzing, and writing, that you're going to need for your 3 major essays that make up 60% of your grade. So for this essay, I want you to look at the PowerPoint, and there are 4 prompts that I gave in it. One is, how are cell phones or technology shaping or affecting society, and how do they impact you personally? That should be pretty easy. No one can hardly go anywhere without a cell phone, but more depth in that, how are Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook and things like that? How is the medium, the app, actually affecting the way you think rather than just information? It used to be we got information from newspapers. We either liked it or didn't like it. But now we're not even sure of the reliability of the information or whether the information, the content, the medium is actually affecting us somehow. Your paper should have about 3 paragraphs. You want it to be organized. An introduction, why you chose a topic, a little bit of background about it. You don't have to do research, but you're certainly free to. Establish how this topic is placed in society, how it is affecting us. And then your third paragraph is your perspective. How do you feel that this is impacting either yourself personally or the greater culture around you eventually? So we have cell phones and technology, and then we're all aware of food allergies, of things like that. I talked about health, but how is that awareness actually shaping our knowledge of our own health? Years ago, no one talked about gluten or food allergies or peanut allergies, but now there's a whole business of giving people information on how they're affected by what they eat in the environment. And in a larger picture, tied with the rise of environmental awareness, we're becoming more and more massaged, as Marshall McLuhan would say, into what it is that we're doing. I have an Apple Watch. My goodness, it told me I took 2 steps yesterday. How is wearable technology affecting society and affecting us? Now, if you have diabetes, it can save your life. You can get glucose readings from your watch, but how is all of the information we're being fed and the technology and the mediums of communication, for many of you in social apps, shaping the way that we actually perceive what we know? This is a very key part of communication theory these days, a very key part of your world. I would urge you not to trust anything you read or trust anything you're told. Analyze, see whether it's reasonable, and then make your own decisions. That's part of what this type of exercise does. I think I've taken enough time. I didn't want to make a long video, but anyway, look at discussions. You have 2 questions worth 10 points. Please respond to those. You need to respond because the department wants to make sure everyone communicates in class during the first week. That's a requirement, or you run the risk of being dropped from the course. And please take a stab at your first essay, Medium Culture, which is in the module. Okay, I'll be talking to you soon. Don't hesitate to contact me via Canvas and ask me any questions, or you want me to review your paper before you submit it. Certainly nothing wrong with that. Okay, thank you.